When I was growing up, my teacher, who was my grandfather, and I call him Baba, always said to me, Shunya, little Shunya, let your mind and speech be connected. Okay, sure, I'll do that. But let it connect in your heart. And then let that heart be connected to all hearts. Baba, to the heart of my pet calf also? But she eats my homework. No problem. Connect to her heart too. Because when we connect with hearts, we are in a state of yoga. What is yoga, Baba? When all the analysis and deductions and logic has gone away, and only bhava or feeling remains of oneness and truth and simplicity, then that is yoga. And dear friends, since then, I have been trying to find this bhava, a feeling of the yoga of the hearts, meeting and connecting. So I really believe, after listening to Heather and seeing all of you and the simple joy of those beautiful sunlit Sedona beauty that we've all come here to witness. Did you see that? Are you in love? Did your mind stop working? Did the chatter stop? Were you like, you were in a state of yoga? That's why we all come here to the vortex, because we can't figure it out. So we then just say, okay, Sedona, take care of me. Put me in a state of samadhi. So we are here, all samadhied out, to sit here in our bliss to talk about some really important things. And those important things begin and end with the heart. Let me tell you, we can really be deeply intellectual when we are in our classrooms tomorrow, and we're going to sit there with our notepads. But tonight, we're just going to have one notepad right here, which is our heart. Shall we do that? Yes, yes. When I'm in my classroom, sometimes I find that my students are getting lost in their mind. And then I say, tell me, how do you feel? They go, good. I can't hear you. How are you feeling? Good. I can't hear you. How are you feeling? Good. See, Indian women, they can't hear after 50. It's just my thing, the genes. How are you feeling? Okay, that's better. Thank you. I come from the land where ancient seers called rishis and women seers called rishikas. Aha! The rishis and the rishika. They meditated, I'm sure, in the Himalayas, which felt like Sedona. And they opened their hearts and they connected with the heart of God. And that God didn't look like one type of God, or didn't talk in Sanskrit alone. That God was everyone's God. That God expresses itself in all eyes, all beings, all forms. It is that formless, nameless, boundless consciousness which is expressing itself in the animate and the inanimate, the visible and the invisible, and dwells within each one of us as our inexhaustible source of power, compassion, and creativity. And through sciences of yoga and Ayurveda and meditation, guess what we're doing? We're connecting with that boundless God within. So yeah, to yoga and Ayurveda. Yeah. So many times these great sciences have been boxed, either as religion or new agey, or then they want to strap things around the brain and then prove it only as neurology. I'm just going to say, thank you. All of that is fine, but this is really my personal connection with the universe, with the person sitting next to me, with those animals in my house, with those plants in my garden. Yoga and Ayurveda and the great Vedic sciences are actually, you know what they're teaching us? They're teaching us to be human beings. As Shakespeare said, do we have the milk of human kindness in us or not? So it's time to stop leading our lowest version of ourselves. It's time to walk tall and it's time to claim that. And just when we rub, when we're walking around in our society and community, and people look at me and my interest in clothing, they look at me and then they look at me again. Because then they look beyond my clothing to my heart and to who I am. And to this message that unites all of us as a global family. I was talking to people. Somebody is from Chicago, hi, we just talked. Somebody is from Portland, hi there. They're just people from all over. And yes, I am from India, but currently from California, yours truly. But I definitely live on this planet the last time I checked. I belong to this family, and I really appreciate what Mark and Heather are doing, because it really is a meeting of, the empowered beings. And we're not just beings who are beneficiaries of this science. We are trustees of this science. We have to carry it forward. We have to meet in conferences like this to take our act up a few notches and to really look at our own value system in case any bias or smallness or fear has crept in, because there is no room for that. There is just no room for that. When I was 18 or 19, I couldn't walk, and I had to use sticks, literally a stick, to walk. And that's not a good time to be walking like that, because that's when you're in love with all the boys in your neighborhood. So you want to walk a certain way, and instead, you're like, you're not having a good day. Some days I was doing fine, and I thought, this is the day, I'll make it. But no, then the pain would come back. Much later, I found out that I was so-called having, I don't believe it, an immunological condition, and it's trying to extract me in a wheelchair, and it's going to do all those things. But I'll tell you, yoga and Ayurveda keep me going. I'm running, and I don't plan to be in a wheelchair anytime soon, okay? And then there's an interesting twist to our lives called karma. Okay, anybody familiar with karma? Karma is just the stuff we can make sense of. That's karma, right? It comes to get you, And so when I had an accident and I lost my neck mobility, and I was told that you will need a surgery, and the surgery might even, compromise you because it's not a good one. Once again, I said, well, I dress funny, so I think funny, and here's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to try yoga, and I think I'm going to try Ayurveda. And I rubbed oils on my body, and I, relaxed myself, and I hummed to myself, and I spent time in nature, and I did a lot of, Bhujangasana, and a lot of different postures, and Surya Namaskar, sun salutations. And I want to tell you that I am pain-free, and I have not stopped anywhere from lecturing, speaking. I'm there on the world stage right now. I just returned from meeting with the government of India, and I was advising the Minister of Health over there on international yoga and Ayurveda. We have to walk tall. So when I couldn't walk, I was 18, I couldn't walk, and I had some tears in my eyes, and my teacher came up to me and said, can't walk? I'm like, can't walk. Full of victimhood and feeling sorry for myself. And then my teacher said something that was amazing. He said, you can't walk, why not plan on flying? And I've been flying. We who are in yoga do not believe in what we want to overcome. We want to now believe in what we want to become. And the life we lead, every time on the mat, off the mat, the life we lead is going to decide the legacy that we leave. And we have a collective legacy to leave on this planet. And therefore, I knew what Baba meant. Baba means grandpa. And I know what Baba meant when he said, fly. Don't just focus on your inabilities or your difficulties. And then when I came here, more than 2 decades ago, it was clear that I was born in such a family that has been known since ancient times. There's an ancient text in India called the Rig Veda. And one of our ancestors contributed to the 10th mandala or chapter of the Rig Veda. So we have a very ancient lineage, and we have been teaching very ancient texts that may be new to some of you, but they are known as Upanishads and Yoga Sutras and many such teachings, Ayurveda, Samhitas or texts. We've been teaching that for our community. So it felt like I'll do the same thing. But when I came here, I was already flying. So that's what I did. I opened a wisdom school of Ayurveda and yoga and meditation spirituality, and I describe it as a Harry Potter school of Ayurveda and yoga. That's it. Nothing less than magic will do for me. And I am trailblazing miracles, not only in my life, but with my students and the people who read my book or who come to me and join me. And I bring that same inherent belief in our magical possibility. I'm just going to start winding down with telling you one more story. My name is Shunya, okay? And Shunya, those of you who are aware of Buddhism know that Shunya means shunyata or emptiness. Shunya means an emptiness, but it actually is an interesting emptiness because it also represents infinity. If something has to be infinite, it becomes so concrete. Because if it's concrete, if it's a certain color or form or smell, then it becomes finite by that. It gets bound by those qualities. So infinity by nature has to be formless, nameless, contentless, qualityless, so that it can be infinite and be and become anything, right? So my name is Shunya, and interestingly, the numeral 0 in Sanskrit, the language of the ancient people in India, is also Shunya, because it's connected, infinity and 0. Now guess what my life was like growing up in India, with every kid calling me 0, 0, 0. That was not fun. And then a couple of incidences in life were also difficult, and it felt like I must be a 0. Now, when others conclude we are a 0, it's okay. But when we conclude we are a 0, there's a problem. And believe me, I did have a dark phase in my life when I concluded I'm a 0. And I think we all need to reach that phase. If you're not there yet, I welcome you, because then that darkness shall become your best guru. And any amount of scriptures and lessons and learning will only become rich soil in that darkness to take you towards light that you will never come back from. So much later I understood through my teacher's teachings and my life experiences and rubbing my light with the darkness that I understood with the help of yoga and Ayurveda, right? I understood through my meditation insights, through my tapas, my disciplines, I understood that actually I'm infinity. And I started believing in an infinite mindset. And I want to talk to you about it. It's a really important conversation to have with you. I've just made the preamble for it, so hold on. The main stuff that I want to tell you about is that infinity lives within us. We just discussed it. We're done with a God that we can find only in a certain institution. I mean, it's fine, we respect you, thank you very much, that's all right. We're not here, that's not the goal here, that's fine. But we're talking about the God that's everywhere and in us, right? And if we agree to that premise, then we also have to agree that there is infinity within us. I mean, if you take a single lyrics and you ask everybody in this room to compose a song, I'm telling you, as many people will have as many new tunes for that one lyrics, right? Because infinity is the bottom law, okay? You look at one single tree, there is not one leaf that's a copy of the other leaf. Why? Because infinity is the law, okay? So you take one idea and you have 1 million people churn on it, there'll be 1 million or 2 billion ideas churning from that. Why? Because infinity is the law. So if we're infinite beings, then our health and well-being and happiness and peace is also an infinite commodity, not a fixed commodity. And that is how I came upon my ultimate and final conclusion that even my health and well-being and my power and my creativity are infinite. Thank you very much. I might be a little foggy and couldn't figure it out, but I'll just take a good night's sleep and next morning I'll know it. So I'm not a know-it-all, but I know this much, that I shall know it all. And I don't need to outsource my knowing. And I just simply have to sit and be quiet with myself in cultivated sanctuary of my soul, in solitude. And you can give it a name in any language, but it's ultimately the mindfulness that I am with myself. And at that time, I shall find a way. Tell me, for all the counselors, mentors, and everything, ultimately, when you became quiet, were you shown the way within you, yes or no? And I have a hearing problem.
Yes!
So yoga and Ayurveda and meditation and spirituality and whatever else you do, including trekking around this beautiful courtroom, for example, that beautiful theater-like little mountain. Do it, whatever you need, because don't just forget that you're an infinite being. And then from that perspective, yoga really becomes a way to play with my infinitude. And then it became alchemical, then it became magical, and then it became transcendental. So I come to you with messages from my ancestors. I come to you with messages from my global ancestors. I come to you from messages from my own heart and soul to invite you on the special night, the opening night of the Sedona Yoga Festival, to use this opportunity as our collective gathering. I loved it. Sedona Collective. Let's meet at the Sedona Collective. I love that. Yes, this is the Sedona Collective. Hooray. And we're going to connect here, try to make different friends, try to find people who are from other states, try to find that common heart, and try to see if you can have magical, alchemical, transformative, ego-blasting, shame-blasting connections. And my last thing, and I don't even know if I've spoken more or less, but I'm done. So I'm going to tell you my last thing. For me, yoga is one more thing. People ask me, Shunya, are you enlightened? And I kind of wink at them. Then they ask me, are you not enlightened? And I wink at them. I am finding that yoga means this fine, mindful path, right? Of connecting constantly with something higher, right? In our day-to-day life. If everybody had to go to the Himalayas and sit in a cave, then it's fine, but it will get a little boring. And we will get attached anyway to the spider who comes to visit and say, oh, she didn't visit today. So the human mind, and we'll get attached to anything. So might as well live in the urban forest of relationships and then work on our attachments, right? A detached attachment, right? Yeah? What Patanjali talks about, that vairagya or detachment. But it's a detachment that's cultivated here and now. Yoga Sutras don't begin, they begin with Atha Yoga Anushasana. It doesn't begin with saying, by the way, those who don't know this text, it's like one of our core texts in yoga. But it doesn't begin with saying, first, buy a ticket to Nepal and go to Himalayas. You want to go to Nepal? Go to Nepal. But don't say you need to go to Nepal and then you'll find your inner yogi. Find it here and now in the Sedona Collective. That's my recommendation. Coming back to the enlightenment question, it's quite out there. Are you enlightened, Shunya? Here's what I have to say. And this is my honest truth, and my second book is being written on that. Through yoga, I have embraced all parts of me, and I embrace my enlightened vulnerability. I want to be vulnerable. I want to be human. I can have my likes and dislikes, but I want to have it in an enlightened way. And to take away the mystery of the word enlightened, it means there is a switch in the room. It's not dark in there and we are groping around our relationships. We have a full blast neon light and we can say you in and you out. That's it. That is called enlightenment, where you are making really clear and beautiful, potent choices. Those choices are keeping you, what is that path of yoga? Keeping you connected to you, keeping you connected to the heart. So even if you have to say to somebody, sorry, we're not going to be together anymore, it's just an example. Or I need to fire you, you're still going to do that with firmness, but with that ultimate knowledge that we are one. Right? So there is enlightenment, all lights on, everything is clear, and there is vulnerability because we also experience our human self. From this experience, I have found that yoga has made me a better mother, and the mother of a 22-year-old. I also have a 2-year-old Labradoodle who tries me more than my son. So I'm a better mother, a better Acharya, a better guru, a better writer, and a better citizen of our planet. So with this, I give you my heartfelt love, and I welcome you again. On behalf of Heather and Mark and all of us, look forward to your meditation now. And thank you very much. See you around.